Hello everyone, how are you all? Again, your teacher Adnan Askar is just in front of you with a new topic, with a new day. I hope everybody is doing great and stay with me because today we are going to talk about very interesting topic that is very commonly used in speaking English especially. Yesterday we talked about the fluency in English and I told you dozens of the ways to improve the fluency in English. You can apply those and you can just try to improve those. Today we're going to talk about the weather. It's a very common topic today. Okay, let me just show you. Okay, today we are going to talk about the weather. Okay, the weather is one of the most important and common small talk topics in English. People often talk about the weather when they do not know what else to talk about. When we meet with the strangers, when we meet some of our relatives which are away from us, so when we don't have anything to talk about, we generally talk about weather. The topic comes very frequently and we don't know how to talk about it, what to use, what sort of a verb to use, what sort of expressions to use there. Today we are going to put some light on these type of the questions. Okay, so without wasting the time, we are just moving towards some of the ways to use these. Okay, now like first is when we talk about the weather, when someone asks us or we ask another person about the weather in English, so we can ask about today's weather, tomorrow's weather, yesterday's weather, and etc. by putting such type of the questions. Okay, like how is the weather today? Okay, what is the weather like today? Or we can say what was the weather like on your vacation last week? What will be the weather be like tomorrow? What is the weather tomorrow? Okay, means we can put WH questions to ask. We can put these WH questions to ask the other person about the weather. Okay, if you do not have the questions like that, means you just forget about using these WH. You can also put the questions by asking the yes/no questions. Okay, in yes/no questions, you have to use the helping verbs directly. Like I have mentioned one of the examples, and I will give you some other examples as well. Like, is it hot today? Will it rain tomorrow? Is it cold outside? Did it snow earlier? Okay, is it going to be humid today? So such type of the sentences in which you directly ask like yes or no questions, you can put these as well. Okay, so if you are talking about the weather, this is the first way you can use the verb tense to talk about. Okay, the second one is using the adjectives. Okay, the use of adjectives in the weather. Whenever we are describing the weather to some other people, to some other person, normally it's very commonly the adjective is used here. Okay, if someone asks you how is the weather today, your answer might be it is very hot, it's cold, it's humid, it's sunny, it's foggy in the morning, it'll be scorching at this afternoon, it's going to be freezing tonight. Okay, means if you are describing to someone, someone who has put a question in front of you about the weather, you can give the answers by using these adjectives. Okay, here hot is adjective, cold is adjective, humid is adjective. Okay, they are all the adjectives that we have used here. Okay, even you can also use the ing form there as well. Like we can use there, it is snowing Okay, here the snowing again becomes the adjective. So you can just use the other sentences like this. It snows a lot in my home country. Okay, it's going to rain later. I don't like it when it rains. So these are some of the adjectives that you can use to describe the weather. Okay. After the use of these adjectives, you can move towards using there. Okay. When do we use there? The word there, the structure of there. We have done this exercise before as well. Whenever you are describing the things, then you use this structure there. But if we are talking about the big weathers, the major weathers, okay, like some natural disasters or the weather events, or big thunderstorms are there, so we can use there. For example, there was a big snowstorm, okay, or there is a big thunderstorm. I hope there isn't an earthquake. Okay, so such type of the situations, such type of the weathers which are major, we can use the structure of there to mention those. Okay, it was the third way to talk about the weather. And after that, there are thousands of the expressions. Okay, the expressions are different. The expression for the hot weather are different. The expression for spring are different. The expressions for the snowfall are different. The expressions for the rain are different. So you can put such type of the expressions while talking about the weather. Okay, for example, if you're talking about the summer and you have to put some expressions in summer, you can say it is very humid today. It's scorching. The weather is cool. Okay, now the cool becomes talking about the cool weather certainly. Okay. We can talk about hot, I told you. Then we can talk about the cool weather by putting these sentences like we can say the air is clean. Okay, the air is clean. Okay, or the leaves look amazing. The weather cools down. Normally in the summer days, right now in the hot days, sometimes the nights are cooler. Okay, as the night approaches, it becomes cool. So we can say that the weather cools down in the night. Okay, so that is what. Okay, we talked about the expressions of hot days, cool days. If we are talking about the freezing things, means we are talking about the snowfall, or if we are talking about the expressions of winter, like we are in the mid of the December or in the mid of the January. So how can we talk about that? How can we put the expressions? It's freezing. Okay, it's freezing. It's freezing to death. Okay, I'm freezing to death. Okay, it's frigid. It's chilly outside. My hands are frozen. My nose is frozen. Okay, this is very common example. I should note it down. My nose is frozen. Okay, so these are some of the expressions for the cold weather. Okay. So I hope. Okay. I hope the lecture would help you to learn about that how to talk about the weather when you meet someone, when you talk with your friends, when you talk with your relatives, and when you do not have anything to speak. Generally we talk about the weather, and these are some of the expressions, some of the sentences that you can use to talk. Okay, you can use any of the expression, you can use any of the type to talk about the weather. For example, you can say like this, if you are putting the question, you can put the question by two ways only. Okay, either by putting a WH question or either by putting the yes no question there. Okay, for example, you can ask like this, how is the weather today? Is it hot today? Is it cold today? Is it sunny? Okay, so these are the things that you can put in front of the others. Okay, now when you will describe the weather, you can describe the weather according to your situation. Okay, the situation of the environment. For example, if it is hot, you can say it's very hot, it's scorching. Okay, but if it is cool, you can say, means not cool, we can say just means the things are a bit getting cooler in the night and hotter in the day, so you can say the weather is cooling down, the weather is turning cool. Okay, and the weather is becoming cool, so you can just put such time. Or you can say it's breezing well. Okay, it's blowing, or the leaves are blowing clean, the air is very clean. You can put such type of the words as well. Okay, but if it is in the middle of the winter, the things are freezing, your nose is frozen, you are freezing to death. Okay, so you can just use such type of the sentences that I just told you. I hope you enjoyed the lecture, and if you have any question or any query, you can put it into the comment box, or you can ask me on my WhatsApp group number, or on my YouTube channel. Okay, so do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and share my channel with your friends, and if you have any query, you can put the comment in that. Okay, so till tomorrow, see you, and Allah Hafiz.